Welcome to another DroidScript tutorial, and today I'm going to introduce you to a premium feature for adding multi-language support to your apps. I've just created a basic app with some text, a big title saying hello and a little bit of text. Now the multi-language feature, the extension, is accessed through the IDE, browser IDE, and it's on the left panel here, and you can find it called language. It's just on here. So we have our basic app set up. If you press this, it brings up this dialog here, and we currently have no lang.json file in the project, so we need to generate a language file, which is a JSON file that stores all our translations and codes and things, keywords. So to do that, we just press the generate lang file here, and it generates a file with a already default keyword in it. So if we go back to our editor and just show you, this is I've added some static text to our app. One of them says hello, add text here, and this is our string. So I want to translate both of these. So for a start, I want to translate hello. So we can copy paste the English version of that. So if we go back to our extension, language extension, we want to add a new keyword, and I'm going to call it hello because that's what it is. Press save, and it appears here. If you click this, now we have nothing, so we need to add a language translation for that. So you press that, it comes up with the supported languages, and I want to add an English version, of course. So then I can type in how I want it displayed on the screen. So remember to use case sensitivity here, or you know, however you want it to appear on the screen, you type it there. Now we want to have multiple languages, so let's have a couple of languages. So we want it in, say, German and maybe Spanish. Now if I don't know the German for this, or the Spanish, the way to do it is to, you can tap on one of these, which is an auto translate tool. Now if you tap it on without anything, it comes up with a dialog. Select a source language by right clicking on the translate icon first. Now to do that, what you need to do, this is our default language, English. So if we right click over on that, it glows up. Now as you can see, the editor comes off now. Now the beauty is with this allows you to auto translate. So now we have hello for German, and for Spanish we can just press it again and it comes up with hola. And it works with more advanced sentence structures as well. So for example, let's go back to our editor, and we've got this long string here. If I simply go back to the language one, add a new keyword, so we'll call it brown fox, and remember this is case sensitive, so whatever you use, it's lowercase for there. Okay, so we want to start with the English one. And again, we're going to have German, and we're going to have Spanish. We can even have French for this one. And we have that as a default language. So all we need to do is press that, and there we are. It comes up with the whole translation for the longer sentences as well, not just simple words. So there's the Spanish and French. So that is the basic way of actually creating your language translations. Now, we have these keywords in here, so how do we now add those to our code? Well, we know we have a keyword hello and a keyword brown fox. So we want to replace this word here with the translation. And to do that, we use a special function called T, big T, the big T. And then you put the keyword that you need. And that is it. Then here we have a string, long string here. Well, actually, we don't need this anymore. So we can actually replace this here. So if we comment that out, we can replace that with a big T. And we're going to put, we called it brown fox. And it's actually better to just copy paste that, because then you know you're getting the right syntax. Remember to do that. Oops, I didn't save that then. It's there, so just go back. Didn't save that moment. Okay, so now we have our translations in place, and we now don't need that. Now if we run the app, what happens? Well, I'll show you. It changes, but maybe not how you expect. And what it's coming up with now is it's showing you the keywords. Now to actually get the translation to work, what we need to do is fire off a method at the top of your app actually, and it's called set app language. And this is where you pass through the string of the language that you are setting for the application. So let's just choose English for now, and I can show you it working. So if we change that, now it should, instead of saying hello and brown fox, it should say still hello, but then the brown fox should be the full text line. And there we are. So now we have the translation. And we can see if the translation works. Let's change this from, say, English to, let's say, German. And you can view it at the top of the app along the tab of your files. So if you click this, you can then see the contents of all of your code, the tag, the keywords, and the translations, but also the list of languages available. Now it's this list here that you need to press case sensitive. So if we have German, we can put the space there. If we go back to our editor, the file, and we just replace this German. Now if we play it, it should come up with a translation. And we'll look, and there we go. There. That one didn't translate. Now have a look. You see, now this is hello is not translated correctly, and the reason for that, and it's my mistake, but in the big T here we've added text for hello. We've actually used a large hello, and it's all lowercase. So the keywords are case sensitive, and it's all lowercase. So remember that. So when we run now, it should come up with the correct translation. And there we go. So hallo, and then der flinke Brauner, Fuchs ist rüber, then sauer gesprungen. Now we've hard coded it for this example. So let's now extend it a little bit by adding another label and a button. So this is going to create a layout. So we want call select lang. That's going to be our thing, and we're almost done it again now, aren't we? We're so used to typing like that. Okay, now we need to create just an extra size and call it just 18, and what this would do, this is I can just call it text 3. I'm going to create a button. Not add button, sorry. We are going to add a spinner. And the list is going to contain the available languages. So if we do, to do that, we can use a global method called getAppLanguages. And what it returns is a comma-separated list of all the supported languages. And when I say supported languages, I mean all of the languages that appear in the langs array in your lang.json file. So it will display all of these. So it's not a button, it's a spinner, which is a drop-down box, combo box, select box, whatever you want to call it. And at the moment, now we need to create this keyword. So we go back to language, we add a new keyword, select lang, language, English, language, and we want it in German and we want it in Spanish. So we just click this, very nicely done, and it's called select lang. So now we go back to our editor, and now we have, oh, I didn't save it. So when you go back to your extension, your language extension, remember when you're flipping between your file and there, do save your changes. I'm just going to retype in all of this, but you can jump ahead. Okay, I've just changed this back to English, and I've put a slight margin enhancement between the text and the drop down box, just to show us a little bit more a gap between there. Now what we're going to do is create an event on change event for this. So when we select another language, we're going to prompt the user to restart the app, and it's going to then you're going to restart the app and it's going to change to the language that we've selected here. And so to do that, we need a on change event. So that is set on change. I'm going to call it just on change. So we just copy that, create a function. And we're going to just add an alert to the user, please restart the app to see your changes. Now again, we want to add this into a language, so we just copy that out. We're going to call it message lang alert. So message lang doesn't matter for now. We go save the file, go back to the language, add a keyword, message lang, save, add language, English, put the thing there, add more languages, German, Spanish, there, boom, bum. And so we need to go back to our editor, and it should be there. So now when you change the spinner, it will appear, the alert will show. So just show you that. So we're there, select language, we want to select change it to German. Right, and please restart the app to see your changes. And at the moment nothing happens, and if you restart the app you will still see it in English. The reason for that is at the top we set app in language to English, and it's hard coded. So now what we need to do is use a bit of data persistence. So we need to just save this text using save text, which saves to a local file. We're going to call it language, and we need the text from our spinner. So whatever it's changed to, that's how we get it, and we're saving that to the value of language. So now that should be available to us when we load the app. So what we need to do here, we can call in a new variable, and we want to get text. It's not get text, sorry, it's load text, I think. There it is, name and default. Name is, we've called it language, and the default is English. Now the reason for that is if this value does not exist, it refers to the default. So rather than have nothing work, we're going to set it to English. And now we can set app language to the value of language, which will be what we've chosen, or the default as English. So now when you select a change on the spinner, we are going to display the text, and it's going to be saved into this value here. So let's see what happens. So we load this here, we change to say German. Please restart the app to see your changes. Okay, and we can carry on using that. So let's stop this app, restart it, and now it's all in German. There we go. So that is how you can use the multi-language support dynamically through the app. Now obviously for this example you can't then change back to English because it's not going. One way of doing it actually for this example is just do that and then change back to English. Now what if we stop it and run, it should be in English. There we go. And to do that, what we can do is set this default value on here rather than have it always at the top language, which is English. You can use a method such as select item, and then we have language, which we've chosen at the top, and then if we run this, what you should get is if you change it to say German, stop and start the app, in the list it should come up now with Germans. There we are. Therefore you can change it. That's out of the scope of this tutorial really. So there we are. Stop it, we'll play it. And what you could do to extend this a little bit further is on the after the alert, you could then put app dot I think it's exit, and that will then kill the app once you've pressed the OK on the alert. Instead of alert, you could use a dialogue with a yes or no. Or if you prefer and you want to go a little bit more advanced, what you could do is use an alert. You could say your changes will now be changed, or language will now be changed, and then you can destroy the current layout, which is used destroy layout, and then you simply call the onStart function again, and it reloads the whole thing and in the language that you have chosen. If we quickly run this, I can show you what I mean. So you do this, English, you want to go to Spanish. Oops. I have chosen to do something there. And as you can see there, when you run it, there was an error. And the reason for that is I did not specify the layout. I didn't read the instructions about the layout that you want to destroy. So you can press play and it should then run it. So if we choose now German, for example, the alert actually is not it's modeless dialogue, so things running back in the background. So you wouldn't need necessarily an alert there, but that's what I'm trying to show you. You can do it in different ways, and that is a simple way of adding in multi-language support using the premium extension on the left. Now you can extend the functionality of this slightly, or if you prefer, you can go into the actual JSON file itself and edit manually the file here. So just a little add-on before I actually do finish the tutorial. There's one thing I forgot to mention, and that is where you can find more information on this. And if you click on the samples and if you type in language or translation, there is a sample for translation which shows you a method of using this, and it shows you some of the built-in functions that are available, and there's a sample here. And also there is reference guides in the documentation. So if you just go into reference, you type in language, you have the app language, get app languages, and in each one of these there are examples, or an example here. So again, use the documentation, use the samples, and if you're still stuck, there is obviously the online Google groups to talk things over. So that's it. Happy coding.